Who I am. That's a big question, isn't it? My name is Gemma, and I'm a human, last time I checked. And faith-wise, I guess the easiest way I identify to myself mentally, I identify as a Hindu. I was a Christian for a long time. It was a very simple theology. That I'm not saying Christianity is that simple theology by a far stretch, but the theology I was given. And at the time, I needed something like that. And after my children were born, I started to have like autoimmune problems, things going wrong with me. I had some post-traumatic stress from childbirth and some other stuff, and I was struggling. A lot of people told me I wasn't getting better because my faith wasn't strong enough, or I was questioning God. One woman at church told me that I wasn't being healed because I've been reading the Quran. Yet all the prophets questioned God. Jesus asked God why he'd forsaken him. And for me, a glass screen just shattered and I chose to free fall. I found Mahatma Gandhi's autobiography and it kind of saved me a bit, really. Just the way that he thought and the way that he saw the world. It touched me, it penetrated my brokenness. My husband kept saying to me, "Why don't you meditate?" I sat and I meditated and I found quiet and peace and heaviness. I felt elevated and transcendent and all those things that just seem really far-fetched. And I felt healed, and I remember more than once hearing a voice that wasn't language, but I knew that I'd said to myself, "I love you." It's a really, really solid "I love you." I am actually innately good. I realised in those moments that something in me had gotten me through all of that. Whatever was magical, whatever was strong, that was actually me. I realised that there is God, but God is bigger and broader than we could ever imagine. It happens so much in society where we construct rhetorics and ideas and we live by them and not by truth and not by love. That hurts people. That's how the Atlantic slave trade happened. That's how the Holocaust happened. That's how these things happen. When we have a crisis, we hang on to a rhetoric and we don't free fall.
For thine is the kingdom, the power and the glory, forever and ever. Amen.
Oh, where did we meet? We met at church. I did some worship leading. When I was doing a couple of songs with the youth choir at a church concert, that Aaron was playing the drums. The thing, like with Christianity or conservative Christianity, which is what I was involved in at the time, is that you get married, right? You get married young. It's a really stupid thing to do. But we literally got married so we could get laid.
2, 1, go. And
I sometimes come in here when it's quiet, perhaps when I've just dropped the kids at school and it's been hectic, or if I'm having a life crisis, and I don't know, there's something spiritual about walking up the aisle and walking up to the altar and just sitting on a pew and breathing in the quiet. I think there has to be some residual peace in these places where people pray, places where people bring their hearts and their problems and their well wishes. So many things happen. Prayers are sung here, psalms are sung here. Peace and temples and places of prayer and worship, they're there for everybody. It doesn't have to be your God or your idea of God or your upbringing. I wouldn't say there's anything more special to me about going to a Hindu temple than there is to going to church. There's an altar at church. Church is a temple. So yeah, I like to come here as much as I like to go to the temple. I find worth and peace in doing both things. I also teach a choir here, and it's a woman's choir currently, and the women that come here again just find peace in the space. Isn't it strange? Different walks of life, some have a faith, some don't, and they come and they sit here and they leave refreshed. Maybe it's the singing, I don't know, I'm not calling it, but yeah.
I'm lost without
We live in Saddleworth, up in hills, and yeah, we live here, and Aaron's a priest, and so he does a priesty things, and we have 2 children called Hope, she's my oldest, and Abraham, my son, and they're 17 months apart, and we live here with our dogs and our cats and our ducks and our chickens, our geese and our sheep. And we have a little farm here. So yeah, I guess that's where we are at the minute.
I'm desperate for you. And I'm lost without you. I'm desperate for you.